Last Wednesday's 2% plus decline in the euro against the dollar was one of the more significant changes in the currency pair during the current crisis, in a volatile week. But with an auction of Italian 5-year bonds completed and new Greek and Italian technocrat governments forming, is that volatility likely to continue? To find out, I'm joined by Ashraf Laidi, who formed Intermarket Strategy this year after 5 years as Chief Market Strategist at CMC Markets. Ashraf, thanks very much for joining Dukascopy TV. There appears to have been positive developments in Italy. Do you expect these to be reflected in the currency markets?
The fact that Italy, has gotten rid of Berlusconi and has appointed an economist at the helm, even though temporarily, I think that is going to be a temporary positive that is going to prevent from traders from attacking the currency and the bonds right after the auction. Are the problems of the Eurozone over? No. So I think that the euro does remain, a sell on the bounce. I think that we may see, if we do see the euro pushing back towards 138, 138.20, 138.30, I think people they are going to be looking to sell it.
There were some significant daily declines in the euro-dollar last week. Do you think there is a possibility we may see a less volatile period in the single currency going forward, or is the recent volatility likely to continue?
So there are many reasons for why we are going to see a persistent volatility in the euro, and this could take into this will adopt to the form of choppiness. Of sometimes price action does not make sense as far as fundamentals, but one thing, if we were able to read, is that yes, we can put it all under the umbrella of selling the bounces, but the key is, as far as technicals are concerned, it's going to be difficult to see the euro maintain any footing above 130, 138.80 or above 139. It's going to be a bit difficult.
The Super Committee in the USA have 10 days left before the deadline on deficit reduction there. Do you think we're likely to see some sort of focus switch to America and those negotiations? And are we likely to see a weaker dollar as a result?
Yes, there is. If there is no deadline is made regarding the Super Budget Committee, there is no agreement regarding that. I think that some automatic budget cuts or cuts are going to have to be introduced automatically. I think that would be a negative for the dollar, because that would only pave the way for further dovishness and further easing from the Fed, either in the form of outright new QE3, or just more aggressive buying, which would be a negative for the US dollar, and that may actually offset any negatives to the euro dollar and keep the euro dollar pair relatively underpinned, at around 135, 136.
The volatility last week around Greece, Italy and even France saw a lot of speculation about the future of the Eurozone. Do you think there are serious discussions going on with policymakers about a smaller or a different Eurozone? And how would that impact Germany, who've arguably benefited from not having a stronger currency as, say, Japan?
I understand the argument that if you're going to kick the bad apples out, that the garden will be better and it will be better for everyone and so on and so forth in the long run. Yes, but if you're talking about as a trader, as far as financial market participants, I think that long-term positive would take a long while before settling in, and so I think that I do not see anybody leaving anything anytime soon, and as far as kicking people out, and I do not see, and I do not agree with the talk that the core countries will leave and form their own elite group, because that would only make, because if that happens in the long term, that would only make the euro actually much stronger, and it makes it soar if they do leave and they form their own group together. And I think that the talk of Germany leaving the Eurozone is complete nonsense.
Thank you very much for that, Ashraf. That's all we have time for today. Ashraf Laidi, one of the most respected currency strategists, talking especially to Dukascopy TV. Stay tuned this week for more insight and analysis. Goodbye.